In this video, I'm going to be showing you on how we're currently doing our email campaigns test in our own agency, Excel Marketing. Let's get into it. My name is Luis Ortega, founder of the Excel Marketing. We are a B2B lead generation company that helps B2B businesses get more sales calls. That's essentially what we do, right? And when you're doing cold outreach, you're essentially sending an email to another person. That's the basic explanation. Only difference, you're doing it at a larger volume, at a more hyper-targeted approach, right? So the way you do it is, okay, you know who you're targeting, you know what you're offering to them. But what would make them respond is the question that we're trying to get, right? And essentially, what you do is you do this test where you write a bunch of email copy variations. Typically, what we test is 3 to 5 email variations. What do I mean by that? Is out of the 10 people, I'm going to be sending 2 type of variations, variation A or B. Which of those variations will get more response? So, basic explanation. At a larger volume, what we do is we just send it at a larger scale, meaning we send more emails to one another, and then you track the metrics. Which of is the variation A getting more responses or the variation B, right? That's what you do. To get even complicated to this, you can test out angles, okay? Because if you think of it, when you're doing your outreach, you're essentially getting them into the next stage of the sales process, whether it's getting them on a sales call, whether it's getting them to reply, say yes to a proposal, or an audit, or send them to a video. You're getting them into the next stage, but what would make them say yes? Because sure, you want them to get a sale, but you're not gonna be paying a stranger $2,000 on the first email, right? So you have to put layers to it. What can you do? So here's some ideas that I could give you. You can give free audits, free lead magnets. What are the lead magnets? What would they value in their case that you could provide easily and would make them say yes? So in our case, we could give you a sample list of the companies we could book you potential meetings with. We could send you a video explaining how our system works. So you get this initial wins, the small wins that will make them respond to you, say yes to you. And that would allow you now to get them on another layer of interest, from getting them to cold to warm, them knowing what you offer, them being interested to it, so that they're interested to know more, so they hop on a sales call with you and then essentially close the deal, right? So you test it. That's the email variation 1. You test out the angles. Now, typically what we like to do is, here's the range. If you were to find out that you're sending 1,000 emails to get 1 lead on the email variation A versus 2,000 emails on variation B, essentially this email wins. And the way you figure that out is by testing, but here's the problem. Here's the solution. What I mean. When you test it out and you have figured which one is the winner, you have to pump out the volume here, okay? Because you have just proven that this email A is getting more responses, more yes, more bookings, essentially more sales call. Then you have to pump out more, okay? It's getting 1,000 per 1 booking, then let's send out more volume. When you send out the volume, okay, how can you improve it even more? Are they replying to your email variation too? That's another thing. What can I do to make my follow-ups effective? Can I send them another value proposal? Can I send them another follow-up, reinstating my offer? Maybe they just forgot. Should I do the authority frame? Maybe you're not the right person to reach out to. Can I talk to another person that's in charge? You know, those type of stuff. You have to test those out as well. But essentially, what you are doing is laying out your options, option A, option B, option C, and seeing where can I get the most wins out of. That's what you're doing. And once you do that, the way you make sure that you found out who is the winner is you have to know your numbers. Well, how do you know your numbers? So you can create a spreadsheet, or if you're using automation softwares like SmartLead or Instantly. In SmartLead, that's what I personally use, not affiliated, but in SmartLead, they have a settings where you can configure a split test between email sequences, and then you can tell SmartLead that, okay, SmartLead, I have 10,000 leads. Test out 1,000 for each variations. Whoever is the winner, give the rest of the leads to that, right? So if you have 3 variations, it will test out 3,000 emails. Whoever between A, B, and C wins, that will be the one that SmartLead is going to allocate the rest of the leads to. You can configure that. Or if you're doing it manually, which is a bit harder, you can find out who are the leads that responded to me and get them on a call. What email sequence did they reply to? Email 1, 2, 3. What email variations did they respond to? 1A, 1B, 1C, 2B, 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 2A, 2C, right? And then if you get those numbers, you can now tell, okay, in this campaign, we're getting a lot of responses for email 1A. Let's use them more. Email 1B is getting less responses. Let's turn it off. You're configuring. The way you decide is you have to know your numbers. It is very essential. You cannot skip it, because if you don't track your numbers, how are you going to decide, right? You may think that email A is the best, but the data is saying otherwise. You have to trust the numbers, right? If you got data, you can easily decide what works and what doesn't, easily turn it off, easily decide whether to pivot, revise, things like that. Another test that you could do is segmenting out the list. Let me give you an example. If I were to target marketing agencies, there's a whole subsectors of marketing agencies out there that I could test out. Whether I want to test out SEO agencies, web design, paid ads, right? I can now list a bucket of SEO agencies, paid ad agencies, web design, and target them via a separate campaign. Meaning, my messaging now would be more relevant to you. I could write down pain points of SEO agencies that they're experiencing that I can solve, right? If you segment out the list, you can now even segment out the testing further. Okay. A while ago, I was just testing out variations for marketing agencies in general, but now I'm testing out SEO agencies and a whole different angles for SEO agencies. The benefit is this. The hard part is make it the campaign being complicated, but the benefit is if you could get more relevant to the person that you're speaking to, if you could find out what their common problem is that would resonate to them, that would make them easier for them to say yes or no. They'd be interested more. You would be trusted more because okay, this guy knows my problem and have a solution for it. Let me hear about it, right? And if you even make it easier for them to say yes, okay, this guy has the solution and he's not wanting my time. He just wants to send a video. Sure, yes, send the video, right? You do those tests. So 2 simple parts. Test out the campaigns. If you want to be more granular, test out subsector of your list. Okay, whatever industries you're in, you can find out a different ways to segment them. It's a segmentation. I'm not just saying the industry-wise. You can even segment the job titles. If you're speaking to the owners, it is a different tone than you're speaking to the managers, who is not the direct decision maker, or could be the direct decision makers, but they still have to get the approval, right? So those are some of the ideas you can do for you to test out and figure out the campaigns. But essentially, after you test out, figure out what your number is, decide from there. Test, track your numbers, decide what you want. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Luis Ortega, founder of Excel Marketing. And if you need leads, go to excelmarketing.com. Book a call with me. Thank you.